Stock market's future uncertain. Many people are worried about their investments and their retirement funds, especially as lawmakers debate whether Social Security will even be viable long term. Is it going broke? And if so, what can we do about it? Here to talk about that today is Tiya Lim from Buckingham Asset Management. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kate.
Early
it's a
on
pleasure
a Saturday
to be here.
morning. It's great to have you here. So we keep hearing that Social Security is going broke. Is it really going broke?
Actually, in a sense, it is. If we continue to pay out benefits at the current rate we're doing it, it's projected that the trust fund's going to run out of money in about 25 years.
So that's coming up soon, although there will be some money left for a portion of the payments after that. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. So how did we get in this condition? This has been such a life-saving program for so many as they head into retirement, and now we're talking about it not being solvent.
Right. It's a little scary, and there are a lot of reasons why we're in this predicament now, but the main reason is that Social Security was created in 1935. So if you think about it, back then the average individual only lived to about age 60. So Social Security was meant to support someone after retirement for just a few years. Now we're living to 80s, 90s, some people into their hundreds. So not only are we supporting more people on Social Security, but for a much longer period of time.
So who's most likely to be affected? Those people that live the longest, or what do we guess at this point?
Actually, the most likely to be affected is probably my generation, people who are about 20 to 40 years away from retirement and then down the line. And that's because there's got to be some reform change, but it's easier to change benefits for people who haven't claimed anything yet or are far away from retirement, and there's precedence for that. Okay, so what do you recommend? What should people in your generation be doing to prepare just in case it's not there? So at Buckingham, my colleagues always say save as early as you can and as often as you can. That's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. And do you think at this point that we're going to be able to make some changes to build up Social Security, prop it up so it is there for us long term?
Well, there are a number of ways to do that. One is if the economy gets better, then employment will go up, which means more people paying into the tax system, which means more money funded into Social Security. Okay. So that's one great way to do it.
But at this point, people shouldn't count on it being there as their sole means of retirement funding, correct?
Well, I think it will be there in some ways, maybe not for everyone in the same manner. But for certainly, there will be some sort of system that will be in place. It is a self-funding system. Revenues go in, and some people are eligible for it.
So at this point, you have a lot of young people starting out in jobs that don't pay as much as they once did, when I was younger. So how do people start saving at a time when they're so stretched already? Right,
and it's really difficult to do. But just a small difference, just even $5 a month, and saving that can really pay off over the long run.
Okay, thank you so much, Tiya Lim from Buckingham Asset Management, for joining us this morning. And you can find much more on this topic, of course, on KSDK.com. Have a great rest of the morning.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Our time right now is 6:27. From the roads to the skies, it's a busy travel weekend. In the next half hour of Today in St. Louis, we'll tell you why it's a historic weekend for global travel. And are you headed to the